Okay, welcome back, gang. Today I want to talk about a really interesting topic for a lot of you who coach themselves, who train themselves, who write their own training plan: customization of your own training plan. So I'm gonna use this example up here again because I think it's just like pretty cool and pretty typical. Anyway, we talk about a guy who has the first year in the sport, 36 years old, lives in Tucson, Arizona, hot, early morning training, usually 9 to 5 job, married, 2 kids, so busy there. He's a former college tight end football player, so he has some running abilities, and he wants to do an Ironman once he's 40. We talked about a few basics. Adaptation is key. Stress plus rest equals growth. Just a little reminder here, a little graph. So today we're gonna go into how to plan a typical week for this guy. To plan a typical week, we have to set some base rules first. So we assume that he did a timesheet and he figured out that he has about 10 hours for training available per week. So that's the base, okay? And he also told us that on the weekends, he has more time. Okay, so these are the base rules. He has 10 hours per week, weekend more time, week early mornings, and lunch around 45 minutes. Okay, how are we gonna put this to work to customize his plan? So we go in here and say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. And we'll look at this week. So, okay, we have swim, bike, run, and gym. So gym is an important part too for this athlete here. Okay, so swim, bike, run, and gym, and then we're gonna put a next extra schedule down here and say family because that's important too. Actually, way more important than the training, but not a lot of people know. Okay, then we want to split it into a typical base week. Okay, so we're going to do the base training first. Obviously, we have to build up an athlete, we have to build the base foundation, build, peak, the standard model to build them up to a competition. Because it's a beginner in the sport, we don't want to overdo it, we don't want to complicate things, so we're going to start with some basics. I still assume, or not assume, he already did like 2 months of really easy run training, so we can actually start with some intervals, which I would like to do just to get some momentum into his system and have different running speeds. I still think building a really good base foundation is the most important thing, but it is good for the momentum and for the quickness to build him some speed work. So we're gonna do this on a Tuesday. Gonna do speed. Hope you can read that. And we also want to do the same on the bike, and we're gonna do actually speed work there. Okay, so we have metabolically speaking and stress on the system speaking wise 2 hard days already. That means Tuesday and Thursday are hard days. Okay, so I would not schedule another hard workout either Wednesday, Monday, or Friday to give his system enough time to adapt, rest, reset, and go from there. So obviously, due to his time constraints, we have to do Saturday, Sunday long, and here it's always like it's a bit of the question: is he a good runner or not? What is his form like? If we should do the long run on a Sunday versus Saturday, just comparing the load. You know, if you tire him out on a Saturday with a long ride and then have the long run Sunday, his run can suffer. And he is already someone who came from shorter distances, so his short momentum is good. But we know just from his sport history as a former tight end, he doesn't have the biggest aerobic base, so his form will also drop with a long run towards the end. But I want a really nice clean running where he looks on good technique, cadence, etc. So I'm gonna decide that we're gonna do the longer run on a Saturday just to keep that in mind, and the longer bike on a Sunday. Okay, so we have a faster session and a longer session. Why do I separate it like that? We definitely need the longer sessions to build aerobic base. So the weekend, it is super important that he's not in a time crunch, that he has time to really take it easy and do this long session in a good fashion. So not overdoing and not going too hard. And the most important part here, I don't want to tell him, oh, you have to ride in this zone. I just tell him, hey, you want to be able to breathe through your nose. As soon as you have to start breathing through your mouth, you're going too fast. I think especially for the beginning, that's a really good rule. That's totally fine. Okay, so that is done. Now it depends a bit on the time and the schedule. Especially in the beginning, I still like to have a good strength program, especially for an athlete who wants to go on the longer distances, long distance down the road. We want to make sure that from the beginning his system is strong enough. Due to his history, again, as a former college football player, he has a good technique in the gym. They did like squats, deadlifts. He knows all the drills and his technique is awesome. So I want to give him a gym session on Monday, and that's the bigger gym session, and another gym session, a smaller one that's more like preparing and not super hard, on Friday. So we have a shorter gym session on here. Okay, so that leaves us with swimming. Swimming is still on the schedule. Plus, depending on where he's at, I would say definitely a swim here, and I would recommend also a swim here and maybe here. So we have 3 swim sessions in, especially for him who's not a well-known good swimmer. Okay, if we look at this can obviously be hard, right? So he had a hard speed workout. He might be tired from that. Wednesday morning swim might suck. But here's the thing. You want to schedule these swims, especially for someone who's still learning to swim in the morning, because the neurological connection will be way better, and it will be way better to learn and build that hand-arm brain connection to be better swimmers down the road. So I think that's really important. Actually, I would love to see him in the water on a Monday too. So we have these days. So that would be pretty ideal. If he has extra time here in this schedule, we could add another bike session here and maybe even a post-run session here and here. Why would I add a post-run session after a speed workout? Just so I assume his cooldown is good after a speed workout, but especially in the beginning, athletes have a problem, not a problem, but like tend to be excited after a good workout, so they cool down, they don't really slow down. Also, it looks better on Strava if you have a fast workout. So I get it. That's why I like to just put them on the bike for 20 to 30 minutes so they really like spin out their legs and feel fresher the next day and recover better. On the Saturday, though, if we have a longer run, in the beginning, because he's not used to those longer runs, I wouldn't like have him run for over 60 minutes actually. Just keep it up to an hour and then immediately put him on the bike right after. So we have the metabolic effect of a longer run, but not the mechanical load of a longer run, which I think is really, really important, especially in the beginning where this is especially a trick that I like to do with cyclists all the time, because cyclists are not used to the impact of running. So all their ligaments and muscles and especially the bones take way longer to adapt to the stresses. So that's a good way of, and they come with a huge heart already in lungs. So their system is ready to take way more load, but their body is not. So this combination is a really good way of, still training them. Okay, so this is how I would split up the training week. So we say here, obviously, gym, the 2 sessions, that could be skipped out, the shorter gym session, but I would keep the big one. So I'm circling all the sessions that could theoretically fall away. This could fall away, so the whole Friday is more like a easier rest day. And that's another thing. You asked me, hey, Flo, there might be no rest day in this plan. There's no day completely off. Yes. And if you want to do that with an athlete or for yourself, I would recommend this day here, actually, just in terms of load to take off. Then we have these 3 swim sessions here early. I would recommend doing that with a master's group, actually. And then we have the Wednesday here for like an easy recovery day. That's more like a fat max day. The speed workouts day, Tuesday, Thursday, a day in between to recover. I would not recommend back-to-back hard days, especially not for the beginner. And the longer day on the weekend. And here, the weekend is really a big emphasis on taking it easy. So this is actually how is this customized? Well, it's customized in that sense that he only has time in the morning under the week, so we do that here with the speed workouts. Therefore the post ride might be a bit tight depending on how much time he has. The bike might be something for the morning session here on a Wednesday, and the swim could be short enough that it fits into his lunch break. So that's the personalization right there. Then we took into account that he obviously is newer to the sport, so we would explain a lot of stuff, nose breathing, etc. And we would make sure that he has enough family time, that the evenings are free, that he can spend that time with his kids, with his family, and to make sure everything is a well-oiled machine at home, which is super important. And then same on the weekend, maybe even his kids could join him on a part of the run here, or maybe even on the bike. The bike after is supposed to be super easy too. So the Saturday could be a fun activity if he starts his long ride early on a Sunday, because it's going to be hot in Tucson, maybe not in the winter that much, but definitely in the summer, that he has all day to spend with his family, which is awesome too, because that's important. So big heart here, definitely important, family time on the weekend. I think that's a big emphasis and personalization. So what else do we have here? So far that's what we know. Plus, we're already building up a strong base with the kind of sessions we're doing, but still like developing some speed work for that guy. So we're aiming on the long run over the next 4 years towards the long distance. Okay, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, let me know. Send a mail either to info@konaendurance.com or leave a comment. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and see you next time.